I think the cool thing about video, and especially YouTube, people go to YouTube because they want to get educated, entertained, or they have a problem to solve. So if you can fit in any of those categories and be consistent with it, it's a very, very powerful platform.
Welcome to the Raquel Show. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. And today I have a very special guest that I originally met on social media and stalked her. And I was super impressed that I invited her to be one of our speakers at our Play Bigger event this past May. And boy, did she deliver. And she's one of the easiest speakers to work with that I tell everybody. She's a licensed California and Florida realtor with Team BC at Real Broker. She has built her business through old school approach of cold calling, door knocking, expireds, and for sale by owners. And she's documented her journey on YouTube and has reached over 87,000 subscribers. Yes, you guys heard that right. And 5 million views teaching agents how to succeed in this business. And as a real estate agent and content creator, Loida has partnered with incredible brands in real estate and has helped agents bring their real estate game to the next level. Welcome to the show, Loida.
Thank you, Raquel. I'm so excited to be doing this. I've been seeing a lot of your episodes, so now I'm a part of it. So I'm just excited about all of the knowledge we're going to drop for everyone that's listening.
Yes. So whether you guys are listening, you guys might have to listen to this again or watching this on YouTube. This woman has a lot to share, a lot of wisdom. So we're going to get right into it. 87,000 subscribers. I'm sure people heard that. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel?
So I got licensed back in 2015, and I remember being a brand new agent, and I knew that I wanted to go after listings. So I wanted to focus on expireds, for sale by owners. I had heard about cold calling and door knocking, but I had no clue what to say or how that went. So I went on YouTube and I was like, let me look up, what is it like to be a real estate agent? And I wasn't really finding any content or any videos. And what I was finding, it was usually a lot of older men talking about, their coaching. And I'm like, well, where are the women? Or, what is it like of someone that's actually doing it right now? So I saw that as an opportunity for me to just document my journey. So I started to record myself, anything that I was learning, what was working, what wasn't working. I was recording my live calls. And, the fact that I did that, it's crazy because even growing up, I would have never thought that I would be like in the spotlight or that I would want people to see me. I remember posting my videos in the beginning, hoping that no one would click on it and watch it. So as I started to get views, I'm like, man, this is not supposed to happen. Like, why are people subscribing? But over time, that's when I saw and I realized, like, you know what, people are seeing me, they're relating to it, and it's helping them. So I have always come from a position that I want to help someone. So if my videos helped at least one person, have more confidence as an agent or get a listing or put a buyer under contract, that's what fulfilled me. And that's kind of how I started on YouTube. I was posting a video every single week. I was staying consistent. I didn't have, a fancy camera or lighting. I just knew, I told myself, I'm going to post a video a week. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I hold myself to a very high standard. So what I say I'm going to do, I got to do it. And then that's kind of how that took off.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sure some people that are still like not fully on video. I know I went to an event yesterday and a lot of them were like, how do I even get over that fear of video? And you like actually recorded calls. What was the mindset that you just had that you're like, even if I could help one person, like you said, like, was there a fear of video in the beginning? And then how would you give advice to that agent that's out there that has that fear of like, oh, I'm going to look stupid or, how am I going to look on camera?
Of course. No, I definitely was scared to even press record. But I said, you know what? There are no other videos that I have seen out there of women or younger people my age prospecting or making calls. So I'm going to record it for them because I know that if it can help at least one person, then, that makes me happy. And even though I was scared, like deep inside of me, I was hoping that no one would watch my videos. And, when you're brand new on YouTube, no one really even sees your stuff. So I was like, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to put it out there. Next thing you know, a couple months, I start getting views and I'm like, oh man, like this is a crappy video and I'm horrible in my cold calling. But I think that's what people actually love now, that because they can see that, I have never been like this perfect person in front of a camera or making calls. You can see the transformation from being a brand new agent and how real it was back then with like the really low quality camera and the lighting and how bad I sound with my communication. And then fast forward 8 years later, it's like a completely different person. So if you have some type of fear or you think, oh, well, no, I'm not as good as Raquel or as good as Loida, look, we all start like from the bottom, but it's with repetition and over time that we continue to get better. And like I said in the beginning, I mean, I had nothing to lose. If someone makes fun of me, oh, well, I'm going to get better. And then I'm going to make sure that whatever they call me out on, next video, I don't do it. And that's kind of how it was for me.
So 2 things, like just do it, right? Do it for the person that actually will watch it and that you can change and help. Right. And then second is thank you for doing that and showing all of our industry that women can do it and that you pave the way for other people to kind of do and show up on video as young, as women, whatever, so that they have different people that they can look up to, And so what are some of the key challenges that you faced when you were like building your channel? Or was it like super intentional every single day that you were going to post a video?
No, back then I really didn't even have a strategy for YouTube. I think in 2015, I was just all about, let me get a listing. I need to start building my real estate business. YouTube and creating content was just like a hobby, something on the side. Initially, it was just kind of like, I'm going to record my journey and hopefully it's helped someone. And then over time, I started to see how agents were subscribing. The next thing you know, I get an agent that shoots me an email. Hey, I have a referral for you. I know that you're in California. So then that's when kind of like the light bulb switch went off. And I was like, oh man, like I can get business from this. I should really make sure that, my content is better and I'm providing value. So it was probably after like a year and a half that I really saw the potential of what creating content could do for me and taking my business to the next level. So the challenge, if anything, it was just more like being consistent because I wasn't a pro. Back then, there wasn't a lot of, or from my perspective, it's not like there was a lot of YouTube channels or trainings like there is today of how to set up your channel, how to grow it. I was kind of like learning everything on my own. I was editing my own videos. I learned how to edit. I learned how to do everything on my own. So I was like a one-man show from 5 to 10 o'clock at night, but from like 7:30 to 5, it was cold calls, role playing, door knocking. And that's kind of how my life was. But I'm grateful for that because that has taken me to where I am now. But it was like a learning curve. And being an agent, there's hundreds of thousands of real estate agents, and video has really enabled me to set myself apart from other people and open up so many opportunities that if I wouldn't have done that, or if I would have stopped, then I wouldn't be where I am now.
So if you were to look back, you talked about building your YouTube channel. There was no channel to follow, or not a lot, as many as there is today. Yeah. If you could go back and give somebody advice that doesn't have a YouTube channel today, and I know a lot of agents that don't, they're like, one more thing, right? What would you say would be the key things just to get them started if they were going to go down that path of building or having a YouTube channel?
I would say figure out who you want to target or the audience that you want to serve. And it's all about creating value. I wouldn't focus on the metrics like, oh, I want to get, 10,000 subscribers or likes or views or things like that, because that's how it was with me. I was never focused on how many subscribers. That all just happened organically. For me, it was like, I just passed my license exam. Let me tell you what I did so that you can pass the first time. And I did that video. Another video. Here's my first for sale by owner call. Look at how bad I am. So now you know what not to say. So as I'm putting this out, people are like, okay, Loida sucks. She said this. I'm going to make sure I don't say that or don't say it like that. So as you're providing value, and at the same time, if you're being real and genuine and authentic and yourself, people are naturally going to want to continue watching you. subscribing to you. And it's all about being consistent.
Yeah.
It's not about, posting 3 or 5 videos every single week. If you could just do one, just do that one, but do it every single week. That's exactly what I did.
Were you ever afraid that like one of your clients was going to listen to your calls or see your channel? I'm just curious. Yeah, like a real estate seller or like an for sale by owner.
It's funny because when I would put out my videos, I'm like, I don't know if they'll look me up or if they'll watch me. But then when I'm at the listing appointment, oh, Loida, we've been watching your videos. They're so good. And I'm like, oh, okay, really? And now it's gotten to the point that even like last week, I had a Zoom call with this couple from California. They emailed me. They were emailing like every email they could possibly find of me. They pretty much said, we have this property. We're thinking about selling. We want you to represent us. When can we get on a call? We ended up getting on a Zoom call, and the wife is referencing videos that I posted years ago, like multiples of them. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm a stalker. I've been watching all your videos. And then the call ended with, so Loida, will you take us as your client? Can you help us?
I love it. That was probably like me when I was stalking you. I was like, where can I find your phone number? Right. And you start watching everything. So I totally get it. And you've done an awesome job at like leveraging video, leveraging your YouTube channel. How have you like specifically or like tactically like leveraged your marketing assets, whether it's YouTube or video, to actually get client leads? I know you brought up a couple ways that people have found you, but like the person that's listening in their car or whatever right now is, how have you been able to leverage your platform to go get client leads?
So I made sure that in every video, or especially the way that my YouTube channel was laid out, it was very clear where I was located and the areas that I served. So it became a thing where, because I'm creating content that is attracting agents, a lot of agents started to send me referrals, whether it was buyers or sellers. A lot of them, for many of them, I was the only agent they knew in California. So whether it was in Southern California, Northern California, I would be the first person that they would reach out to. So it became a thing that I started to get a lot of agent-to-agent referrals. Here and there, I would get just, regular clients that were searching for how to sell a home or why is your home not selling, that would reach out to me like that. So it's been like a combination, but mostly a lot of the business comes from agents that have found me and here and there consumers as well.
If somebody was like starting their YouTube channel and somebody needed to create content, how would you say they plan out, or maybe you can share, because you've been doing this for a while, how you batch or plan your content, or how, like what your process is when it comes to your like content? Because I know people are like, oh gosh, another thing. I've got, Facebook, I've already got like buyers, sellers, and then Instagram, now YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I would say, first of all, with YouTube, the great thing is that is the second biggest search engine out there. So if you post a video that is pretty general and people are searching for it, it can be years from now that people will still be watching it. So versus other platforms, your content will live much longer on YouTube versus, let's say, Instagram or TikTok. So as you're creating content, I would say any specific questions that you always get, especially if you're targeting clients, if you always get, what the buyer process is or the seller process, or pros and cons of your community or the top places to live in, use those as starting points to create videos. Now with AI and ChatGPT, you can just type in a prompt and it'll give you even more content ideas. Aside from that, there's probably other agents that are creating the content that you want to do. So you can take a look and see what they're doing. Because it's happened to me many times where I have this amazing idea for a video and I think it's going to rock. And then I post it and, no one watches it. So then that tells me, even though I thought it was good, people are not interested in that. So there's already out there so much information that can help you and guide you to create this content. What I like to do is that whether it's on my phone, on the Notes app, or if I have like a little binder, anytime that I think of an idea, I'll write it down. Because then let's say on a Saturday or a Sunday, when I plan out what videos I want to shoot, I can take a look at the list of the videos that I want to do. And let's say if I want to batch record 2 or 3 videos, Now I can come up with bullet points of what I want to touch on each video, or even come up with a script if that's what helps you. And then that just makes the whole content creation so much easier.
Yeah. So such good advice and such good tips. You obviously also help a lot of agents like level up in their business in different ways. And so what are some of the mistakes? Let's go to the mistakes first that you see agents make right now when it comes to content or it comes to YouTube that may not be helping them.
Some of the mistakes, well, first of all, I would say sometimes we focus so much on the views. I think with, like, for example, Instagram and TikTok, you post something, you're probably going to get thousands of views within a couple of hours. On YouTube, it's completely different. You post a video, you might only get 5 views in the first 2 weeks. And I think that might disappoint a lot of people. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about creating that content, because you never know when it's going to take off and when people are going to start to find it. Aside from that, not knowing who your target is. So creating just like random videos or being too general. I think the more specific that you can be with who you want to target and the content that you want to put out, it's going to be much helpful for people to find you. So I would say those would be the 2 things.
If they were narrowing their target audience or their avatar, what have you seen perform the best?
When you're specific in regards to like the area or the city that you're in, or the age demographic. So for example, I was recently talking to an agent, and they were doing, it was like a property tour, but it was a community that was 55 and over, senior complex. And the title that they had put on that video was regarding how to overcome depression. So if I didn't know anything about it, I would have thought that it was going to be like a motivational video. And I watched it, and then I was like, oh, it's about a 55 and over community. So I was like, hey, you need to tweak that title.
Yeah.
To make it clear that it's regarding a 55 and over community, so that those people watch it. And the whole reason that they made that title was because in that community, they help, elderly seniors that might be dealing with depression get over that. So those are just like some of the mistakes that I have seen.
That is hilarious. What a great example, just to like kind of drive the idea home, because I would have thought, probably living your best life as a senior,
Exactly. Yes. So if you can't put it in there, who you're targeting, whether it's seniors or men or women or single moms or pregnant women, like whatever it is.
Yes. How do you stay motivated and inspired? And we know that this content world can be extremely competitive. And there's a lot of people that I know that have been doing this for a while that are like, oh my gosh, I'm like burnt out of like ideas to keep creating more and more content.
Yeah, no, I can tell you, I personally have felt it, where it's gotten to the point that I'm like, man, I'm kind of over this. I'm posting videos, my views have gone down, like the engagement is low. Is this even worth it? But then what I like to tell myself is that, look, at the end of the day, if I'm not posting it, someone else is creating the content. And I was even thinking about this morning. YouTube has been one of the things that I have been the most consistent with all of these years. Like, I have never stopped posting. If anything, I have gone through the challenges of not feeling motivated to post or to record, because especially, I mean, I don't know about you, but if my hair's not done, or if I feel like I look crappy, I'm like, I need to film, but I'm not ready.
Yeah.
So then I tell myself, so I'm like, okay, you know what? To avoid that, let's always be ready. That way, if I get an idea, I just press record and I have no excuses. So it was more like a mindset shift for me, and knowing that, like, look, this has opened so many opportunities for me, and I can't stop now. I always get messages and comments from agents and just strangers, not even agents, that are like, you know what, I've been watching your content and it's motivated me to continue, being on this journey, or I've implemented your tips and I got my first listing and it changed my life. So it was things like that that continue to motivate me. And at the end of the day, in my family, there's no one that has ever done anything like this. So a lot of my family is in Central America, and they see me like, oh my gosh, Loida, she's doing YouTube. And for me, I'm just like, I'm just Loida. I'm just like a regular person. But so many people start to look up to me, and I think I would be letting them down by just giving up. So I do it for myself, for my family, and for people that I know I can help.
Thank you for your transparency, because it is true. There are people that, myself included, that go through burnout, but like that mindset shift, like always be ready. No different than when we first got into the real estate business, our broker told us like, hey, you never know when you're going to get that sign call. So like have extra pair of pants or have an outfit if you came into the office, but like just be ready for your next client that's going to come from somewhere.
Yep. That's exactly how it's been with me. And I'm glad that I have pushed through, because it still happens where I kind of second guess myself, and it's like, should I be doing this? Or like, do I need to change things up? Or why am I not seeing, the results that I was hoping for? But I tell myself, and I'll tell everyone that's watching this, you also have to be patient, and you have to understand that, especially with creating content, there has to be a bigger purpose, not just, getting the views and the subscribers, but what is your end goal? And for me, I was like realizing, and I told myself, you know what, I want to make an impact, and I want to make sure that people remember me, and agents can implement what I'm telling them, and they know that I'm real, and you can implement my stuff, and I'm not shady, and I'm not telling you to do like bad stuff. And then that's what continues to fire me up.
I love it. And this is why I adore you so much. And as we look into the future, like what are the trends that you see that's happening with YouTube specifically?
I think short form content like YouTube Shorts, we're still seeing that go up a lot. But at the same time, even creating longer videos, so longer in terms of maybe 30, 40 minutes. I think the cool thing about video, and especially YouTube, is that anyone that goes on YouTube specifically, they know that they're probably going to watch something that's like longer in terms of time. So as long as you're creating something that's valuable, I like to say at the end of the day, people go to YouTube because they want to get educated, entertained, or they have a problem to solve. So if you can fit in any of those categories and be consistent with it over time, more people are on YouTube, I think, that watch TV. So it's a very, very powerful platform.
I love it. Speaking of powerful platform, you've created some partnerships, some brand stuff, right? That I've noticed after reading your bio. You've mentioned like you've been able to partner with some of these companies. If an agent was listening now, what should they be considering if they want to go down that route?
For me, the way that it happened, it was all organically. Companies started to reach out to me. I was just being myself, putting out the content. And then companies started to reach out because they felt that we would be able to align ourselves in the message that we wanted to carry across. So for example, one of the bigger companies that I have partnered with has been Realtor.com. And I've done a lot of consumer content with them. And that just happened, an email was sent. And initially it was like, wow, this is a big deal, because I was not used to that. So as soon as you start seeing this, it's almost like, you know what, all of those times that I wanted to give up, I'm glad that I didn't, because if not, I wouldn't have gotten these opportunities. So I think at the end of the day, as long as you're putting out what you want and it's reaching the right people, the right companies will reach out to you as well. And at the same time, as you're creating content, if there are companies that you feel that you align yourself with and you want to work with them, reach out to them, because you never know, they might be open to partnering with you or seeing how you can collaborate. And if they say no, then oh well, but unless you try, you won't know what opportunities you can get for yourself.
So good. So good. So many nuggets. And it's like so true, right? And we're starting to see that in the industry, even with our private clients. They're starting to get these brand deals because they've been consistent. They've overcome a lot of things, and they're looking at, who can align with them and their products the most. And it's all because of what they've put out there first. What's next for Loida? You have a lot of things going on. What are you most excited about that you're working on?
I'm excited about continuing to work with agents in the aspect of training, traveling. Like I said, even before we press record, I'm so grateful for the opportunity that you gave me to go to the Play Bigger event, which if you guys are listening, you definitely have to attend the Play Bigger event, because you don't know what you're missing out on. So I'm just so excited about that. It was such a great event to be a part of. So events like that, training agents, inspiring women specifically, and more people that, I think in sales, we know that in real estate, I think the statistics are that there's more women that are in real estate, but mostly when it comes to trainings, I usually only see men, the ones that are talking. So being in a position where I can inspire and motivate women to know that they can also succeed, that's what excites me. And that's what I look forward to.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for pouring into our community. Like I said earlier, is that my community loves Loida. And I was like, I'm begging her to like come on the show because I was like, there's going to be a bigger reach. The people that didn't get to go to the Play Bigger event now get to hear this episode. Where can people connect with you?
You can find me on Instagram, Loida Velasquez, or on YouTube or on Facebook. But fastest way to reach me, probably a DM on Instagram.
You guys have to follow her. She's got some of the most interesting, funniest, educational videos. I mean, she like she said earlier, she's so real. Even her mess ups, like she puts it out there and I just freaking adore her. So as we wrap up, there's always one question that I ask every guest that comes on the show is what does Loida do to play bigger in business and in life?
You can never get comfortable. If you want to play bigger, you have to surround yourself with the right people that will help you take yourself, your life, and your business to the next level. I know that that's what has helped me. And the moment that I feel that I'm comfortable, I know that I need to surround myself with maybe like a new set of friends or a new set of people, because there's so many opportunities for you to unlock. And until you're put in those positions, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Oh my gosh, so good. Any last minute advice for anybody that's listening when it comes to what you do?
I'll tell you this regarding like creating content on YouTube, since we talked about that. At the end of the day, if you're not doing it, someone else is doing it. And there's a lot of business that you can be getting by putting yourself out on video, putting yourself out, on YouTube. And you're going to mess up. No one's perfect. Please go back and see my first videos and you'll see, okay, Loida sucked. So I got a chance now. And use that as motivation. And eventually over time, you're going to get better. And then you're going to be at a point that you're going to message Raquel, myself. I'm so glad, I saw that episode. I did it. And that's what we want to hear.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on our show today. I super just appreciate you. I appreciate like getting to know you these last couple of months. And I know that I will continue to support you. And I just love seeing you always play bigger, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate you too.